I want you to picture this. Thousands of people filling every single seat inside the Indira Gandhi Stadium. You would think it was a superstar concert, right? Or a blockbuster film premiere? But the crowd was not there for entertainment. They were there to learn mathematics. And at the center of that stadium stood a man presented as the savior of Indian education, Baiju Ravindranath. Fast forward to today, that $22 billion empire has effectively collapsed, losing almost all of its value. So, how does a company that once looked like the future of Indian education become one of the biggest corporate cautionary tales in modern India? That is what we need to talk about today. Sentiment. To understand this story, we need to use our real versus record framework. The real was inspiring, a passionate teacher from Kerala, making education accessible to every possible child in India. A middle class success story, a man who made mathematics exciting. And honestly, part of that story was real. Baiju Ravindranath grew up in Kannur, raised by two teacher parents. Like millions of Indian families, the expectation was quite simple: become a doctor or become an engineer. He chose engineering, but teaching was that made him famous. He started with small CAT coaching classes in a rented building, and people genuinely loved his teaching style. Students packed his sessions. Word spread rapidly, the business exploded, but somewhere along that journey, the mission slowly changed. Education stopped being the product. Growth became the product. This is where the story becomes uncomfortable because Byju's was not just selling an app, they were selling a solution to a parent's deepest fear. What if my child fails behind? And once you understand that, everything else start making sense. Their sales teams, often very young employees, were trained to emotionally engage families first. Ask about the child's dreams, ask about the parents' sacrifices, build trust. Then came the psychological pressure. The salesperson would ask the child a question far beyond their level, like something designed to confuse them. When the child could not answer, a polished animation would immediately explain it beautifully. The child felt so amazed, but the parent felt something else because fear. Fear that their child was already behind. Fear that saying no could damage their future. And that fear became revenue. It was ethically disturbing, but commercially brilliant. The company's valuation exploded. Investors poured in billions, and the system became bigger, and more aggressive and far more dangerous. Then the lockdown arrived, and for education technology companies, it felt like unlimited growth. Schools were shut, parents were desperate, children were trapped indoors. Byju's expanded at an insane speed. I think you also may remember the advertisement. They acquired like White Hat Junior, they borrowed massive amounts of money, they hired aggressively, and they flooded India with advertisements. But beneath or underneath all that growth, the economics were collapsing. The company was spending enormous amounts of money just to acquire every new customer. In many cases, the cost of making the scale was higher than the revenue coming in. That is not sustainable growth. That is a mission burning cash to maintain an illusion. At one point, reports suggested the company was burning nearly 12 crore rupees every single day. And then lockdown ended. Schools reopened, demand slowed down, but the pressure inside the company did not stop. Because once a system demands dependent on constant growth, it starts consuming its own people. Their employees described impossible targets, mental pressure, denied breaks, and threats linked to performance. At that stage, this was no longer about education, it was about survival. And honestly, that is why stories like this matter, because it is very easy to look back now and ask, how did people fall for this? But the reality is much more human. Middle class families are constantly told that one wrong decision can entirely destroy your child's future. And when fear controls this decision making, people become vulnerable. That is exactly why we investigate these stories. So, if you value this kind of deep dive content, consider subscribing to the Unmasked Intel because while others focus only on the real, we will keep digging into the record. Today, thousands of employees have lost jobs. Investors are suing. Parents are still struggling for refunds for this company. And the company that once dominated Indian television screens is now only a shadow of what it used to be. But the biggest lesson here is not about Byju's, it's about what happens when an illusion becomes dependent on exploiting insecurity instead of delivering real value. Because eventually, reality catches up, whether it is education technology related, or real estate, or finance, or any trusted institution. A model built on fear cannot survive forever, and when it collapses, it is usually the common man who pays the price. And maybe that is the guilt many parents are silently carrying today. They were not investing in education, they were investing in fear. Fear that their child will be left behind. Fear that another parent was doing more. Fear that saying no today will destroy their child. And companies like Byju's understood that fear perfectly. That is why, before you invest your money, your trust, or your child's future into any institution, do not ask how emotional the advertisement is. Ask just one simple question: is this truly helping my child? Or is it exploiting my anxiety as a parent? They are the ones that sell fear disguised as hope. Stay safe and see you for the next one.